This is Autohaus Z, and today we're going to talk about this Nissan 240SX S14 transmission rebuild. Alright, so this thing is a FS5W71C 5-speed transmission, and there's, I believe, a couple variants of this. The S13 and the S14 ones have different variants, or the transmissions are different between the S13 and the S14. So here's a couple ways you can tell. The updated or S14 version has a synchronized reverse. The teeth on the input gear are actually wider on the S14 version. So this is going in a time attack car. The current owner of that car says he grinds third and he's actually losing time on track because of it. So that's why he contracted me out to build this. So teardown, inspection, what else are we doing? Or what else did we do to this? So the input shaft, which is also fourth gear, and then these two come as a set, counter fourth, are brand new units from AMP. The other ones had some rust damage from the donor core. 3/4 shift or 3/4 slider and hub, brand new units from AMP. We replaced this guy because the teeth on the hub were damaged. And not on this side, on the third gear side. Reverse and then fifth reverse slider got replaced, and that was because the dog teeth on these two guys were damaged or were severely worn, which is really odd since reverse is synchronized on this guy, which usually tells me either the owner had a clutch disengagement issue or they were trying to roll the car and force it into reverse. There's a lock nut for the counter shaft and also the output shaft. These two are brand new nuts. Full rebuild kit, including bearings and synchros. In another video, you'll see some of the bearings in that rebuild kit weren't the correct ones. So the center bearings for these shafts, and then you can see on this one the bearing shielded. And then the input bearing is shielded on both sides too. These shielded bearings I actually had to source out from the UAE since they're discontinued units in the US. This is called a gutter. So what happens is first gear throws oil into the gutter. You see the gutter exit, and then on the tail shaft there's a slide that actually feeds one of either the bearing or I think it's the yoke on the output. That's what the slide feeds gear oil to. So yeah, torn down, inspected, deburred, ultrasonic. You can see some of the deburr work on fifth. So this will either be casting flash or wear from the slider sliding over these gears. So I'll knock burrs off the top and then off back of this. Hard to tell, but even if a lot of times the gear teeth have casting flash, and I'll use the flex shaft and deburr these guys too. Iron center section, which is pretty cool because that's really special in a Toyota. I think all of these FS Nissan transmissions come with an iron center section. So this guy was glass bead blasted, and then you can tell I painted the outside high temp. The gutter, I was surprised they had this in stock at my local Nissan dealership. So some other quick tips, you can see the counter front bearing, and then the output rear bearing are open face bearings, and I stuffed them full of just assembly grease. So it's not like a dry startup and then the bearings don't get damaged. Same thing, you can see some of that green assembly loop right there because there's some needle bearings right there between fifth and then this spacer. So yeah, overall I'm impressed by this transmission. Hopefully it works well for the owner. Yeah, I would definitely do one of these again. Some interesting things to note: on a lot of transmissions I get second gear dog teeth get beat up, but if you see how shiny that guy is and how old this one is, this guy was actually good to reuse. I was shocked by how good of condition the second gear dog teeth were on the gear and then the slider itself. And I think a big part of that is second gear actually has a multi-piece synchro. on here. Third gear, just from like the Zilvia forums and Googling, third gear seems to be a problem on these trans, and this is just a single synchro. Another thing to take into factor with gear shift quality, if the gears themselves are heavier, that means it takes more to slow these guys down in order to make that shift. So I bet if the Nissan engineers could go back in time, they'd probably want second and third to both have multi-piece synchros like a lot of modern transmissions have. I was told by a local Nissan guy, iron center case is really good because that prevents these two shafts from trying to spread each other apart, because I forget what it's called, but this style cut gear set, they naturally want to spread apart, so you don't want that to happen, of course. So the iron center case much better prevents this this loading or this spreading apart of the output and the counter shaft. Alright, first gear. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Reverse. Alright, so manual trans is one of my favorite things in life. From the YouTube views, it doesn't seem like people are really interested in nerdy technical manual trans stuff, but I like doing it. So if you like it, if you don't like it, make sure to leave a comment. If you're local in the Bay Area, or I've had people ship transmissions to me out of state, let me know. I build a lot of different Toyota transmissions, and I guess I'm doing S chassis transmissions now, maybe. But yeah, remember to like and subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you guys for watching. This may be a boring ass video, but I enjoy doing these. And make sure to listen to the Autohaus podcast. Check out the link below for merch, cmautohaus.com. You can be a supporter of me on Patreon for as little as $1. Thanks again for the support, you guys. I really hope to build more manual transmissions. So yeah, save the manuals.